Eyup, it's Louise. I finished some more books. So many books. 2 were actually ebooks, so I don't have the physical book to show you, but I'll tell you about them anyway. I'll see if I can just put a little picture on screen. Am I that techie? I don't know. Imagine. Here. So the first one was Detransition Baby. I don't remember the author because of who I am as a person, but a lot of my friends and like Twitter mutuals were going crazy for this book when it came out, and it is about like the experience of being a trans woman and like a detransitioned trans woman. But I didn't get the hype around it. I just found the characters really annoying. I don't know if they were supposed to be. It was okay. It was quite easy to read. I'm like, I don't know if we were supposed to feel sorry for, I don't remember what the chick's called in it. I obviously didn't pay attention, like the main woman, or like, were we supposed to not like her? I don't know, that's by the by. My second ebook was way better. So I read The Pisces by Melissa Broder, and her books, I've been told, are really like weird and disturbing, kind of messed up, which is exactly what I like. I'm a big fan of Otis and Moshfegh, I believe that's how you say it, who did Eileen and My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and they're really like weird and messed up, kind of disgusting books. And one of my friends said, I think you'd like Melissa Broder, and she was right. So The Pisces, I was reading it, got like just to about halfway through it, I was like, oh yeah, this girl, like, her life is a mess. She's making a lot of bad life choices, and then there's a twist. Like, she meets this guy and you're like, oh, okay, and then it's like, what? It just comes at you with like a really weird angle, and if you've read the book you'll know what I mean, but I'm not gonna say what it is. But that just hit me like a ton of bricks. I did not expect that, and it's kind of gross, really weird. And I'm currently reading her other book, Milk Fed, at the minute, also through, just bear with me, I've got something in my eye. Apologies for the interlude, I always get stuff in my eye. This is unrelated to anything, but like, do you ever get like bugs fly in your eye when you're like walking around? Like, it happens to me all the time. And I've asked my friends before and they're like, no, that never happens to me. But it'll be like, at least once a week, a tiny fly will go in my eye. Like, is it just me? Are my eyes just so inviting to go in? Anyway, I'm reading her other book, Melissa Broder's Milk Fed, at the minute. And that already, I'm only a couple chapters in, and it's really, really good. Really, really enjoying it. Yeah, so I have borrowed that from the library. Shout out to the library, because I'm on a no buy for books, but that doesn't mean I can't just check loads of books out of the library, because they're not taking up room, because I have like the, is it Libby? Libby, the app. I think it's Libby. I'm doing this, that means app. And they have like audiobooks and ebooks and a lot of magazines on there, so I've been reading a lot on there. Get my audiobooks in for when I'm like on the commute to work. Very fun. But yes, I loved The Pisces. I know I'm gonna love Milk Fed. If you like really gross, weird books, I recommend it. Check it out. My physical books I have here. Speaking of gross and weird books, I got Gulp by Mary Roach, which is about like the human digestive system. And I read one of her books before that was called Stiff, which is about like cadavers, I think. Yeah, it was about like cadavers and like medical experiments on them and like using them for like crash test dummies and stuff. That was really interesting. But yeah, this was, I didn't enjoy it as much, but it was still pretty good. It was really gross. Obviously it's a lot about like stomach acids and digesting things and spit, so it's kind of minging, but I did enjoy it, you know. It was decent. It was pretty good. This book I bought ages ago. It's Girl Up by Laura Bates, and so it's like a book about feminism, but I didn't realise that it was obviously for an audience much younger than me, because well, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's quite like mature, and then sometimes it's like talking about being in school, and I haven't been in school for a very long time. I can see for a young one they would really enjoy this, but for me it's like, I already know this. I am already world weary at my ripe old age. It was okay. I'll leave it on the free pile and see if any of the local teens want to take that and become feminists. This book, like, was heartbreaking. It's Shooky by, I can't read backwards, Douglas Stewart. I was thinking Douglas Adams, but that's a different person. So yeah, this is about a young boy growing up in Glasgow, and it's like the mid to late 80s, early 90s, I think. And he is little Shuggy Bane. I didn't know that Shuggy was a nickname for Hugh. It's not a shortening, but whatever. So yeah, it's like him and his very like dysfunctional family, and his mum is an alcoholic, and it's so sad. Like, I really enjoyed the book, but it was so miserable. It was so like depressing. Just nothing goes right, and he's just a weird little boy, and his mum is just a mess. Oh god, it's really pathetic. I loved this book. I loved it so much. It was so good, so sad. It was like, I was so excited to read it. Like, when it was like, before I go to bed I always read a bit of book, or like when I'm on my lunch break at work I'll usually read a bit of book. But I absolutely ploughed through this. I loved it to bits. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was so good. It was so good. So good. So good. I should drop that on the floor. Smooth. Yes. Fantastic. Would recommend everyone read this. It's probably the best book from this lot that I've read. I did really love the Pisces, but I feel like that's probably not everyone's cup of tea because it's really gross. This is the worst book. I didn't know what this was supposed to be. So it's Alexa Chung's It, because you remember she was an It girl. This is a book from 2013, and I picked it up and I was like, oh, this looks fine. It's got like photos in it and stuff. I immediately like picked it up, and the photo on the page was Coffin Joe from The Horrors. Remember The Horrors? Just me. Yeah, if I'd have spent the $16.99 RRP on this, I would have been so pissed off. $16.99, but the fact that someone also bought this for $9.99 from TK Maxx. Yeah, I read this in half an hour. She didn't really say anything. It's mostly just photos. And she's in about 3 of the photos, and I don't think she took most, if any, of the photos, because there's just like random like screen caps from films, and like, ugh, of course she loves Woody Allen. Ugh. And it's just like weird little doodles. I don't know what I expected. It was not good. I can see why someone gave it to the charity shop. But whoever bought this for $9.99, are you okay? And I don't mind Alexa Chung. I don't like dislike her or anything. Obviously I liked her enough to buy the book, but not great. Truly not great. I don't know who told her she could write a book, but she shouldn't have bothered. And that's me done. Being super harsh about that last one. So in conclusion, Alexa Chung's It, don't bother. You could just look at photos on Google for free. Shuggy Bane, best book, love that. Everything else, pretty good. I'll see you on the next one. I'm really plowing through these books at the minute. Goodbye, guys.